Hi everyone, welcome to episode 16 of YarnAdelaide Knits podcast. I'm your host Nicole, coming to you from Adelaide in South Australia, coming to you from the northeastern suburbs of Adelaide, South Australia. I'm a mum of three. No, that's not right. I'm a wife and mother to three, and a a dog and three rabbits. You might see the border collie in the background at some stage. Maybe I can see her in the reflection of the window behind the camera, having a roll in the grass. This is a knitting podcast, or mostly knitting. Sometimes I do a bit of drop spindling and I show that, but mostly knitting and a bit of dyeing yarn and project bag making and some accessories or notions, stitch markers and progress keepers and that sort of thing. I have some news today on my yarn dyeing adventures. Today we have a couple of finished objects, some works in progress, an update on take charge of my stash for this year, a little bit of guild news. Some of you might not know, I'm the current Vice President of the Hand Knitters Guild of South Australia. They're based in Unley in South Australia, which is kind of the southeastern suburbs of Adelaide, just on the other side of town. A little bit of guild news. I acquired a notion of sorts that I want to talk to you about, because I think it's quite interesting. I think some of you might be really interested in it, and in no way was I paid or given it. I paid for it and go, oh, that might be helpful. So yeah, I would like to talk to you about that as well. So I'm just looking around thinking, where should I start? I've got my cup of tea. This is my second time that I've tried to do this today. It's Friday the 23rd of September, and it's about 3:30, 4:45 in the afternoon, so the kids are home from school. I've got a 14-year-old, almost 12-year-old, and a just turned 2-year-old. So my two eldest boys are looking after the 2-year-old. So you might hear some yelling and some carrying on in the background while they're playing silly buggers together. So this is my second time. I tried to do it earlier today, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, while Scarlett, my youngest, had to sleep, and that lasted about 20 minutes. And I thought, I only got 20 minutes into it, I'll just start it all over again. Let's get straight into the finished objects. Oh, actually, sorry, before I do that, I'll talk about, we'll go back to doing the admin thingies. The Changing Seasons cowl, that my Ravelry group, that's another thing that I forgot to say. You can find me on Ravelry as Cola Girl. Also, you can find the podcast group on Ravelry, YarnAdelaide Knits podcast group, or YarnAdelaide Knits podcast, and it's in the groups tab on Ravelry. And I'm ColaGirl74 on Instagram and Twitter, and then I've got a little bit more to add to that a little bit later on. So, in the podcast group on Ravelry, we are having a Changing Seasons cowl. So it's basically a sock and shawl knit along, being that, we all wear those and make those in the changing seasons when it's warming up or cooling down, or all year round basically. So being that we're going into spring in the southern hemisphere, shawls, and we're still knitting socks, and being that it's also a good time of year to start thinking about those smaller items for gifts for Christmas time. So that runs until the end of October, October 31st. I did show one of the prizes that I had from Circus Tonic Handmade last time, but I've left that inside. So yeah, yes, spring has come out today. Here it's been pretty dreary over the last 10 days, and yeah, we sort of hit the beginning of September and we got some really nice spring weather, and then it turned really, really cold again, went back to winter, and we had lots of rain, as many of you in the eastern states are getting it, and there was lots of flooding. The flooding that occurred, we didn't get any flooding around where I live, but a little bit further east, about half an hour east, southeast of me, they got a bit of flooding through, I think, Burnside and the beginning of the hills, the Adelaide Hills, which is the eastern side of Adelaide, up at Stirling and where else? Aldgate, I think it was. Yeah, up that way. But we were unaffected. I think that's where most of the downpour was. We get a bit of it, and it was quite wet. The ground is still quite wet, so it's been good for pulling weeds when I can get out there. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so it's nice spring. That's why I'm outside again. I've been inside the last couple of months because it's been too cold to get outside. But it's nice that I can set up out here and sort of leave it without a 2-year-old getting into it and messing it all up. So yeah. Okay, let's go into finished objects now. Finished object, what I'm wearing. This is the Minamara shawl by Meg Gatsby of Atelier Yarns and Designs. It's a one skein wonder project, which is really good. So it's quite, you can see how, yeah. The yarn I used is Ren & Ollie sock yarn in the Chili Churros colour, which is really nice because it's a purple and pink and a couple of different tones of brown and beige, and it's got some bit of red in there. So it goes really nicely with a lot of things that I wear. I did block this with the gravity method on the clothesline with your pegs that some of you might have seen. There's a photo of it because I blocked it on Sunday on my Instagram account that you can have a look. I like how that blocking is quick, but I think you can see that I might need to reblock it, being that the picot edging, and the picot's still a bit curled up, the picot edging are quite close together. You could only fit a peg on every second picot edge, so I think I might have to get it out again, get the traditional blocking wires out and mats and do it that way. And shawls don't take very long to dry, even when they're laid down flat. But I wanted to try it, and I think probably with bigger shawls that have the bigger sort of picot points would be a bit better suited. And even if they were a bit more flat on the top, where this is a bit more crescent shaped, so it hasn't truly let its shaping come out. So yeah, but I still like it. I will see whether I'll probably reblock it, but I've got to find the time to do that too. So it might not happen too quickly. But yeah, it's a nice lightweight cowl. It still keeps you a little bit warmer in the neck, and I'm pretty stoked that it goes with those little different colours. Helps it go with a lot of different things. So yeah, and thanks Meg, because it was a gift from her after I did a test knit for her. So that's my second Meg Gatsby design that I've knitted, and I think I might have to have a look at her. There's a couple of other shawls that I really like that I might have to go and purchase. So the second finished object that I have finished my monkey socks. by Cookie A. She's a sock knitter that's been around forever. These monkey socks have been around for a few years. They've been on my to-do list for a few years too. And I'm glad that I finally got them done. They're a little bit damp still because I finished them on Monday night and I wore them Tuesday, so they've been washed and blocked again now to show you guys. This is the original monkey socks, so it still has the pearl stitches in it, which are pretty easy. They're not hard to do. Some people just don't like, being that it's done in the round, they don't like their pearl stitches for tension compared to their knit stitches. The yarn is Stranded in Oz, Aussie sock yarn. I'm not sure of the colourway. I'm sure if I looked on her website I will find what the colourway is, but she doesn't put the colours on her labels, because I purchased them down at the Fisherman's Wharf market where she is on the weekends. And yeah, that's a fairly good colour depiction of it. So it's got the tealy blues go with the browns and greens and the lighter browns, tans in there as well. So yeah, they're nice and comfy on. I think the next time if I make them again I will do another repeat, because there is only 6 repeats in the leg and it's not quite long enough for my liking. I like them a bit longer. And I hummed and hard whether I was going to do the extra repeat, and I should have, but I thought no, I'll just do what the pattern says. But yeah, that's alright, it's all done now. And you live and learn, and you need to experience it to find your own opinion. So they're done. They're the only 2 finished objects I've done. We'll go into some works in progress. So I've made a little bit more progress on my Christmas socks that I decided I thought I might knit my family for Christmas. It wouldn't, if everybody got a pair of socks, it would mean that we give 2, it would mean that there's about 10 pairs of socks that I need to do. So we'll see how far I get come Christmas Day to who gets a pair of socks. So these are just a basic, these are some men's socks that I think I will give to my stepfather. So they're a basic 72 stitch sock with a twisted rib cuff, and I think I've done about 7 inches along the leg, 7, maybe 8. I've got a ruler here, so no, they're about 5.5, about 5.5 inches from the bottom of the cuff to the beginning of the dividing for the heel. I've done the normal heel turn and gusset, which is a slip stitch, which I think I prefer that. I don't like the short, the other heels. I like the traditional one that you end up picking up stitches and what have you. I think it just feels a bit better around my foot too, but not that these are for somebody else, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. And my stepfather's got a very big foot, so these socks are the Knit Pick sock blockers. They're in the medium size, so they're my size. And yeah, I'm almost to the point where I need to shape for the toe, but my husband's got a big foot, so I need to try them on him tonight to see whether it's time to shape the toe. They're made in Lana Gross's Millouette sock yarn, which is a 80/20 wool polyamide. And yeah, I like they're nice, and when I've tried them on my husband, he likes them, where he hasn't really liked my socks that I've knitted him before. But I wonder, because I'm using a 2.25 mil needle, where I usually use a 2.5, whether he probably likes that little bit more firmness around the foot. I'm doing the magic loop. I haven't done the magic loop before on single cuff down socks. I usually do them on 2 at a time toe up socks. So yeah, and it was more that all my sock needles were being used, and I had this needle in my case with all my needles, and it's like, yep, okay, I'll do the socks this way this time so it would fit. So yeah, I'm happy with those, and almost one down. Then, because that needed some attention other than just knitting, I started another pair. And these are the, where's the pattern? They're simple, no, pinstripe socks by Julia Swart. So the slip stitch, so every 7 or 8 stitches you do a slip stitch, so it gives a bit more bit of interest. And I think these ones will be for my mother-in-law. And so these ones are a 64 stitch on 2.5 mil needles, which is usually my preferred way I like to do, or preferred stitch count and needle size that I like to do my needles if I'm making them for myself or for a woman. Sorry about that. My dog cannot stand somebody starting the lawn, using the lawnmower. So she's abusing them at the moment. Yeah, she's a bit quirky, border collies are. So yeah, where am I? So I've got a little bit more to go before I start doing the heel shaping, the heel turn. This is a Motiveri yarn that I've had in my stash for a while, as it was a reduced one from Spotlight, which is a 75-25 wool polyamide. And yeah, I like the colourway. It's a bit neutral, but it has a hint of pink in it, so yeah. It's that one. And then my Balsam Ridge jumper that I'm doing. Excuse me a minute. I can't let that go. Sorry if I slept. Yeah, my Balsam Ridge jumper that I'm making, which is a Dandelion Girls pattern, or Melissa Swashberry. I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, she had 50% off her patterns a couple of months ago, and I had admired this jumper. I'll show you a picture. You can't see what. No, not that one, but that one. That one there. So it's a nice loose fitting jumper with a little bit of lace interest on the front. I'm using Debbie Bliss's discontinued cotton Angora yarn, and I don't mind how this is going so far, but I have, and I said in my last episode I was going to sort of in between sizes with what I'm in between the sizes that they give for this, and I thought, and it's done in wool, so I thought, well, I would allow for the natural ease that cotton does give and the natural drapiness that Angora gives, and use do the smaller size and allow the yarn to do the easing. And I've sort of checked my gauge, and I think I've only partially checked it. I really need to sort of study it a little bit more to see whether it's going to work for me, because I don't think it's going to, but I'll study it a bit further and then see how I go, because I might have to undo it and do the bigger size. And it's all knit in the round, so that's good as well. I might see even to the point where if it's not giving me the exact gauge to get the size that I want, I'll put another longer cord on and try it on and see how it fits. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I love the colour. Yeah, the cottony Angora is nice and soft. And yeah, and then I have done some squares for the cozy memory blanket. I'm sort of halfway in between doing one at the moment, but I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares since last time. So that one is the socks that I've done. This one is some sock yarn that I got from Stranded in Oz. What is she doing? It's the dog. Yeah, this one's from Stranded in Oz. Sock yarn as well. This is an opal yarn that I got a few years ago in, I think it's called Brummel. I think it's supposed to be Bumblebee or something, colourway. Brummel in German. And I'll forget who this one is. I can't think. What are you doing, kitty? Don't you like the cut? Don't check out the South Australian Hand Knitters Guild website, and you can get all your information there. Or there is a Facebook group. Yeah, Hand Knitters Guild of South Australia. Yeah, check that out, and we'll happily give you some information if you want to make contact those ways. That's pretty much about it. As for my announcement, the sun is starting to go down and it's coming right through there, so it's causing a bit of shadowing. I'm hoping it's not too dark or too bright. It's not been completely washed out. I wonder, bear with me a sec, and I'm going to change direction. Just move over a bit. Okay, so I've finally done it. I have opened an Etsy shop. I've only got one listing in there at the moment because I wanted to do a bit of tell you guys that I'm going to do it, and then yeah, what am I trying to say? I wanted to let you guys know that I've taken the next step, that I've opened it up, and I suppose you can't just open the shop and have nothing in there. So for it to officially be open, you needed to have something in there. So I only put one listing in there, and I thought, well, I'll do a bulk listing over the weekend. I will let you if you follow me on Instagram, I will let you know when the listing has gone live there. So, but I thought I'd just quickly run through what I have left, because from the last podcast I did mention that if anybody wanted anything, just drop me a line if there was something that from what I showed last time that that they liked. They can contact me and we can arrange for me to send it over to you. So again, yeah, so thanks to Tamara and Dorothy. Yeah, thank you so much. I've sent out and you've both received it, what you chose, which I'm really chuffed for and ever grateful that you liked what I'm doing. So yeah, I thought I'd just quickly show you guys what I intend to list, and if there's anything that you want before I list it, let me know, and yeah, we can make arrangements. So I'll pull out all. So what I've got, this is the Pride fingering the Pride fingering 4-ply, which is 100% organic merino. So I'll have in the shop the It's a Boy, which is a really pale icy blue that's slightly tonal. So yeah, and there'll be 2 skeins of that. It's a little bit more bluer than what it's, as in, it's quite a pale blue, but yeah, icy blue I think best describes it. There's that one, It's a Boy, and then have a pink version with It's a Girl. A little bit more darker the pink than say the blue, but it's nice and tonal. And there'll be 2 skeins of that one. Then there is Dragon's Breath, which, let's see, sorry guys. Go, see that? The sun's washing it out a bit, sorry guys. Just, there's never any perfect way to do this, is there? Yeah, that's Dragon's Breath, which is purples and greys, and it's got pops of green in there, and darker purples and pink, and a little bit of yellow. And then there is Mint Julep. Got 2 skeins of that one as well. It's a real minty green. Which the organic merino is beautiful and soft. Nice and soft to the skin, but it will felt pretty easily because it's not over processed. Mint Julep. Mint Julep, like the Dragon's Breath, would go really nicely together. If you wanted to do a multicoloured shawl or something. Even those 3 together look nice. So, yeah. And then there's one more in the Pride fingering, which, what did I name this? That's right, Daisy Chain. Which is a nice light tonal yellow. I think I did post photos of this one. The Mint Julep is the one that's already listed on Etsy, but I will get all the others up there. I did take some really nice photos that I was quite happy with, and that's what was holding me back from not opening up this shop beforehand. I'm really sorry about this glare, guys. But yeah, it just wants to set right now, and the more I procrastinate about it, the worse it's getting. I'm just wondering if I move over a bit further, chase away the sun. Let me try that again. Okay, still running away from the sun. So yeah, so that was the Pride fingering, and then I've got the Walker sock, which is a 75 superwash merino 25% nylon, and I have the Red Wedding, which is a Game of Thrones theme. That's all I kept thinking about when I saw this. It's got lots of different reds, sort of dark red, goes into sort of more a sort of a little bit purpley plum, and there's browns in there as well. That's really nice. I really like it. I'm really pleased about this one. And then also in the Walker sock, so we have 2 of the Red Wedding, and then this one, I hadn't named this one last time, and I decided to call it Iris. It's got the purple like irises and the blue irises with the yellow stamen. So yeah, I've got a few different, and they're flowering out the front at the moment. So yeah, got 2 of those, and I recreated the orange speckled that I had sold. Tamara brought it. or Tam, from, what's her podcast called? Tam's Crafty something. Can't remember. Crafty Knits. I'll remember it next time. And yes, so I recreated Animal. This one came out a little bit more orange and yellow than the original's a bit fairer, but when I was trying to name it, and all I could think was Animal from the Muppets because of the purple and the orange, and that's why I called it Animal. So yeah, so I've recreated, so I've got 2 more of those, and I think that's all in the Walker sock, and then I've got pumpkin spice in the Dover sock fingering, which is a 75 superwash wool, 25 nylon. So I think it's just a collaboration of different wools rather than the merino. So that one's pumpkin spice, which one I've reskeined and one I've left as is. So you can sort of get an idea of the variation and the colour repeat of it. And so it's 2 of those ones. 2 of Mindy's Christmas, which is a lot more grey than black, but I still like it. It's not exactly what I wanted, as I explained last time. Mindy's Christmas was my border collie that passed away just in the beginning of December, and at Christmas time she used to wear tinsel around her collar, but this colour. The black didn't come out as black as I wanted, but I still sort of paying homage to her. She'd been in the family for almost 15 years. So I've only got 4 skeins of the Drover sock, and then I've got 2 skeins of the MCN, which I've called Royalty Fingering, which is, what is it, 80 superwash merino, 10% nylon and 10% cashmere. And I've got 2 of this one, it's called Blue Jeans and Work Boots. Just reminded me of working with horses with your blue jeans on, and you got your brown boots, your brown work boots on, and you have your t-shirt, so a plummy red t-shirt on. Just reminded me of that, you know, that was your uniform when working around horses. So yeah, that's what I've named that one. And then last couple of skeins last 5 skeins I will have is the Outback 8 ply, which is the 100% new merino, which is a 19.5 micron of Aussie Australian merino, and that one's called Time for Spring. It's got the sheer brown, the yellow and the green, or sheer tan. Don't worry about this, this is just to wrapped around the yarn to keep it together. Got 2 of those, and then 2 of Clearing Sky. And so it's purple, grey and blue. They're really pretty. Kind of quite tempted. And then this one was a one of a kind. So I've just named it number 1, one of a kind. It basically, because I steam bathed these ones, it was the excess dye that had dripped into the water that was steaming, setting this, and that's what came from it. So it's a beautiful light mauve purple that's slightly tonal. So yeah, but I've only got 1 of those. They're all 100 gram skeins, and that's about it. So hopefully, with any luck, I will have them listed over the weekend. I will let you guys know via Instagram when I have updated the shop. Okay? Oh, one thing before I forget about something that I wanted to show you that I bought, about a Notions, I suppose, the accessory. There you go. I bought one of these new and Bud Knits stitch gauger. It's a ruler that has all here where you can check your gauge. So here, this one for instance is 4 sticks per inch, then you've got 4.5, 5 stitches per inch, and you just measure it against your knitting and you can check for gauge, which I thought was pretty ingenious. I went up to Kathy's Fibres. She opens up her studio once a month, and Wednesday just gone was the day that she opened up, and she just got these in. So you can get these on her website. They're $7 plus shipping, but yeah, especially it's quite good because I think, as I was saying about my Balsam Ridge, this was it's measuring about 3.5 inches per inch, where I think I need to get 18 stitches per 4 inches, so it's not quite working out. What are you doing, kitty, in the background? Oh, charming. Yes. Anyway, sorry, moving on. Yeah, I really like this. So yeah, so I'm getting about 3.5. I think it's a little bit bigger than this one, but I'll have to further investigate and further calculate. And then it's got inches across here. So yeah, I think these will come in very, very handy, and I'm sure many of you have seen them, and it's clear, so it's nice to put up against your knitting. So yeah, if you want one, check out kathysfibres.com.au. And yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Anyway, on that note, before I get really washed out and you can't see me at all, I'll say goodbye. Hope this isn't too bad once I see it through, otherwise I'll be recording again tomorrow, and I don't want to do that. Have a good fortnight and enjoy your knitting. I know I have been, and I think over the weekend I will be in the dye pot again somehow, just because I also got some landscape dyes from Kathy as well, so I have to play with them and see what I come up with those. Alright, thanks ever so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, I'd love to. My subscribes are getting a couple more every podcast, which is good. Yeah, I'd love more. We'd all love more. We all want more, don't we? Anyway, so yeah, if you like, subscribe. Thanks guys. Enjoy your knitting. See ya.